I'm Brigham Larson with Brigham Larson Pianos. This is a 100-year-old Kimball that we just did a kind of a hybrid rebuild refurbish on the guts, and we did our just very basic level of refinishing. I should actually talk about that. Not everybody necessarily has the budget or the desire to have a piano that's like absolute perfection on the refinishing. Some people like it just kind of generally cleaned up and looking a little bit better. A lot of these pianos that are 100 years old, they just kind of look tired and really worn out, whereas this is, let's check this out. This is our lowest level of refinishing, so look closely and you can see, you know, it still has some imperfections and little gouges and things. But overall, I mean, it's not terrible. Oh, here you can see they're kind of disguised. If you've ever done any painting, you know that the vast majority of doing a really, really fine job of painting a room is the prep work, and it's the same thing on pianos. So with this lower level refinishing, it's quite a bit less expensive, and there's quite a bit less prep work. We do very, very little prep work compared to a full refinishing, like on a piano like this, where things are, you know, virtually perfect. And so anyway, you get a piano that still looks very, very good, dramatic improvement from what it was, but here you can see maybe there was some water damage there, would be my guess. Yeah, there you can see it. That's kind of what it looks like. Pores are still open. Little imperfections here and there. Cheek blocks have little scratches or gouges. But again, everything is just kind of disguised. It's like a good makeup job. Maybe a good way to characterize it. If I were across the room, you know, I would actually probably mistake this piano for a full refinishing, but when you're up close to it, you can tell that there are still some issues. So it's, anyway, I don't want to belabor the point any more than I already have. So let's look at the guts. On this one, same kind of idea, where on the guts, we took some from the rebuild column of the ledger and some from the refurbish, but we do work on the entire piano. So like every component, piano's comprised of all these different systems. You have the strings and the soundboard and the bridges, you have the action, the hammers, the dampers, the key system, the trap work, all of these different systems that work in conjunction with each other to create the piano. And really, if you neglect one of those systems, like if you were to, for example, restring the piano, you then have a very strong chain, link in that chain being the new strings, but then all of the other links in that chain are still weak because they're 100 years old, and so the chain is going to be weak. It's not going to function as a chain should, because you have only one strong link in the chain. So what we're doing here is we're addressing every single link in the chain. Some of them we're replacing altogether with brand new because they're just so hammered after 100 years of use, and other parts that don't receive quite the beating we'll refurbish. So again, addressing every link in the chain, and it's going to be a significantly stronger chain than it was, or than if we were to just address some links. So all-inclusive, partial rebuild, partial refurbish. So let's talk specifics. The hammers, you can see the hammers in there. Maybe if we get the camera kind of pointing in there, you can see the hammers are new. The shanks, what the hammer's attached to, those are also new. The knuckles, the flanges, those are all new. The dampers, you can see the dampers in here, the felt of the dampers, that's all new. The keys, and the sharps, those are new. The bushings, that's what keeps the keys in nice alignment so it doesn't feel sloppy. That's been replaced, and maybe a handful of other components in the action. Those are also new, but then like everything else, the strings, for example, the strings have another good several decades of use left in them. So for the needs and the budget of this customer, it would have been frankly just overkill to replace the strings, because they, as you'll hear in just a second when I play it, strings, they still sound pretty good. And so, you know, why ramp up the budget further than it needs to be ramped up? So yeah, overall, piano just sounds great, plays great, looks really nice. Turned out really nice. I think they're going to be really happy, and it's got decades more of really good use in this piano.